Welcome to Chat with T. I'm your host, Miss T. Let's get right into it. So, my question for you today is, do you ever feel overwhelmed? Are you feeling overwhelmed right now? Is there a lot going on right now in your life? Are you busy, working, grinding, running a business, going to school, taking care of your grandbabies? You know, we're all so busy, right? And it's true, life can become extremely overwhelming. So the question for you, are you overwhelmed, right? And what do you do when you're overwhelmed? What do you do, and how do you cope with being overwhelmed? So today I just want to drop my 2-3 cents, a couple tips, right, on being overwhelmed. Note, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. If you think you need further, more like treatment, please check with your doctor and get some help. Okay. So these are just tips, right? So some of the tips is that one of the first things to do, and I do these for myself, is that to first acknowledge that you're overwhelmed. Sit still and just acknowledge that you're overwhelmed, right? And know that feeling overwhelmed is a natural feeling. That's number one, right out the gate, okay? So that's the first thing, right? The next thing is to have compassion for oneself, right? Know that a lot's going on. Life is busy. Pieces and things are moving around, and you do probably have a lot to do. So have some compassion, right? Clearly, right now, at this moment, you're doing the very best that you can. So that's number two. Have compassion for yourself, right? Love yourself enough to have some compassion. Number three. Now write down what's overwhelming you. Pull out your journal, pull out your phone, laptop, whatever you need to do, and just write it down. Put it on paper, all of it, however you want to write it. If you're angry, write it. Whatever, however you need to get it, spit it out, get it out. Put it all on paper, or get it out your system. So that's the next thing you want to do. You want to record and figure out what's going on, right? And get it out. That's number three. Number four, as I always say, look at everything that's going on, and let's divide the list up and focus on the things that you actually can control and not on the things that you can't. So break the list down, break them down into two. What can you control on this list, and what can't you control? Obviously decide, and once you write the list down, move on to the next step. The next step, take your side of the list that you can control, all right? And then that's your responsibility on that side. And those are the things you focus on, okay? Prioritize that list. What needs to be immediately, right? What do I need to do at this moment? We know we probably have a lot of things to do, but what do we need to do right now at this moment? What needs to be done, okay? And we do that thing. And everything else on the list, we basically prioritize, right? We give it a goal, a time, and a date, and we work through the list. Now, me saying that sounds easier said than done. Everyone has different circumstances, and everyone's life is really hectic. So when I say that, I know you're probably having to move at a really fast rate, right? At a fast pace. But that's some of the things you can do at first, right? First of all, let's get it sorted and settled, right? What we need to do. And the next thing, when you're feeling overwhelmed, be grateful. Write down the things you're grateful for to remind you, right? To remind you of things that have happened before. You made it through those things. You got those things done. So clearly, I'm sure you probably felt this way before, but you got through that project. You know what I mean? You made it through the process to get to the goal. It could be anything, right? I mean, it could be overwhelming buying a house, overwhelming you getting married, overwhelming just trying to get through divorce proceedings, overwhelming co-parenting. Life can be a lot, okay? It can. So those are some tips there, and gratitude is one of them. These things that I'm saying, by the way, are not immediate fixes, but they definitely, hopefully, will help you along the way. And then after you get gratitude, then do some things focused on self-care just to help you get centered. Whether that be meditation, working out, whatever that looks like for you, but some type of self-care, even if it's 5 minutes, right? And lastly, there are a lot more tips. There are a lot more things you can do. Those are just my tips. But again, the most important part, the best takeaway from what I've said is to remember that being overwhelmed really is a natural thing. Acknowledging it is best. And taking deep breaths and knowing that you're going to be okay. It's going to be fine, right? We're going to be okay. We're going to get through this moment, this week, this month, and this year. If we're blessed to be here, we can do it. Anyway, those are just some tips, my thoughts. That's all I got. And again, there are more tips. I just wanted to share that. And I appreciate you listening. As I always say, you can't change anyone else, you only can change yourself. Let's focus on the things that we can control and none of the things that we can't. I'll be back with another one. Thank you. Bye-bye.